Hello guys, welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. It's the Chelsea Godfather reporting back to duty. Let me take this off. Guys, it's the aftermath of another Chelsea loss, this time at the hands of Wolves. It's been 24 hours, and I know a lot of us Chelsea fans are still in pain after we lost 4-2 at the bridge to Wolves. And obviously, I can understand Chelsea fans being upset and wanting pretty much to blow up the entire Todd Bowley, program. Not just um, Pochettino, but also the entire backroom staff, the entire Stanley program, the entire the officials, everything. They want to blow everything up, blow up the players, and start everything from scratch. But of course, you all already know that none of that is going to happen. It's not realistic, and it's not going to happen. So let's be real, guys. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. The reality is that over the last 20 years, the only club in England that matched us in trophies in trophy haul over the last 20 odd year is pretty much on the two Manchester clubs, City and United. Obviously, Man U has kind of fallen apart the last 10 years or so since Fergie retired, and they've been having a rough time. And the point I'm trying to make is that times have changed, right? The last 20 years, the prior 20 years, um, there was sort of FFP, but there wasn't much of FFP, compliance because even, City, with all of their, success, they still have the dark clouds of 115 FFP charges hanging over their heads. At some point in time, they're going to have to answer to all of those 115 charges. And so when you look at it from that a point of view, when Todd Bowley and his crew took over this Chelsea club, they knew coming in that FFP compliance was going to be real. They knew that, listen, it's going to be from an American consideration, a bit of salary cap type of situation, whereby there will be controls in place to control the amount of spending relative to your club's revenues, right? And of course, you guys are gonna be like, well, then why the heck did they go on ahead and spend one billion plus? Well, again, it's all relative to the rules in place, and they stretched those rules as best as they could to make the most that they can, right? Make that they can get away based on the rules that was on ground, and that money has been spent. It's been invested in mostly young players, right? And mostly young players. Obviously, there were some errors that were made early on last season before they put a new administrative staff in place. But it's mostly on young players, long term deals, and so there's clearly is a plan in place. And what we Chelsea fans are obviously feeling and concerned about is the unknown, right? Because back in the day, when we had these kind of issues, we could always have faith that Roman would, save the day. He would fire the coach. He would sell whatever players that need to be sold and buy ready-made players, and just keep this, gravy train moving forward. But in this day and age of FFP, that game plan right there. Roman's game plan was not going to work. It was not going to fly any further. That has pretty much ended, right? Now, that's not to absolve the Todd Bowley crew from any uh, um, um, wrongdoing or criticism, because they have made a number of mistakes. But that being said, listen, on the path towards success, there's going to be a lot of hardship along the way, right? It's not just one linear upward trajectory. It's like that and like that and like that and like that is what it looks like, and that's what we are seeing. Because if you just only go by the last two games, you're gonna feel like, wow. I mean, we've made no progress after spending all this money. But the reality is that we have made some progress. Some of our players have actually been good, right? Some and some a lot of them are actually getting better. The only issue is that it's hard to embrace the little wins when you turn around and get smacked 4-2 by Wolves, or 4-1 away at Anfield, or even Wolves actually beat us 2-1. So they've done the double, and we are now back down to the lower half of the table. So right, and the backdrop of these bad results, it's difficult to for us to wrap our minds around the notion that Chelsea has made any kind of progress in the last, let's say, 6 months. But what I'm here to tell you is that even this season, some progress has been made and is being made. But it's just that we're not going to feel it. We're not going to feel it because right now we're still in the midst of a lot of inconsistent results. And those inconsistent results are inherent when you invest a lot of money in inexperienced players, right? When you have a lot of inexperienced players, there's going to be a higher chance or a higher risk that the results are going to be inconsistent until those players play together for at least a couple of seasons or more. It is what it is. I mean, had this been 10 years ago when we had JT, Ricky, and Ashley Cole, then we could afford to drop Gylfi to include Gylfi as a right back, and still have Essien and Lampard in midfield, and Drogba. And Gylfi can find his feet because guess what? He is protected in that kind of a squad. Any mistakes that Gylfi would have made, guess what? It would have been mopped up by JT or by Ricky or Aspilicueta, right? Or Essien or Makalele, right? So the point being that the more young players, the more inexperienced players that you have, starting in games, the higher chance that their errors are going to end up proving, costly for the team. That's just what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at. When we have Gusto Disasi, right, in our backline, and we have Silva, who is 40, almost 40, right? That's like 3 players already. Then Chilwell has been out for like almost 6 months. He's still trying to find his best his midseason form. that's pretty much an entire backline that's filled with question marks. Then in front of that, you have a middle trio of relatively inexperienced players compared to what we are used to, and you have Caicedo, Enzo, and Gallagher, with Gallagher being the most experienced. So what I'm trying to explain is that what we are seeing is basically when you sit down and analyze the results of based on what we have, and based on the fact that we've been having to deal with a lot of injured players coming in and out of the lineup, in addition to the fact that we have a lot of young players playing. It's bound to result in a lot of inconsistent scores. And what I'm saying is, we have no choice but just to be patient. It's not, nobody wants to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm a Chelsea fan. I'd rather be like y'all and just top four and league title once every 3 or 4 or 5 years, and Champions League every like maybe 10 years. And I'm good. I'll be real good. But the reality is, this is where we are based on the current FFP rules that are in play. And, we just have to have faith. We have to have faith. Pochettino is not going to get fired. Nobody, Wayne Stanley is not getting fired. Is going to be let go until the end of the season. Then the powers that be are going to sit down, analyze everything with a sound mindset and say, okay, where did we expect to be? What have we done? What happened throughout the season? Did we make some gains? Did we, what things did we do, poorly? Where are the areas to improve upon going into the next, season, and so on and so forth? That is what I expect that will occur for Chelsea by the end of the season. But for the time being, there's no choice but to keep on playing these players, keep flogging these players, put them on the field. Just, they have to concentrate on playing more as a team. That's the only thing that is going to turn this thing around. Teamwork is the only solution. And the more that they play as a team, the more that they block out all of the noise from the media, the boo boys, and so on and so forth. Hopefully they will grow. They will mature on the field, because we need them to grow up quickly. And the sooner they begin to pick up in experience, hopefully the results will follow. Guys, how do y'all feel? Drop your comments below. Take care. God bless y'all. Peace out.